Jaci, it's great to have you here with us today.
My pleasure. Nice to see you, Sarah.
I know, it's so normally like we see each other outside of work, but now here we are in front of cameras and a microphone, and I want you to be just as natural as you normally are with me, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So it's EO Atlanta's 30-year anniversary, which blows my mind. Obviously, I'm not old enough to have been around for 30 years, but like your business, I want to learn about your business and like where you started, Jaci, and like where you are today. So why don't you start off just by introducing yourself for me?
Yeah, so I'm Jaci Lund. I'm the owner of Treebird Branding. We're an Atlanta-based creative agency. We've been doing this for about 12 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you an Atlanta native?
No, but I've been here for 20 years, so
Okay.
I feel like, I know the lay of the land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're an Atlantan, but you're not from here initially.
I don't think, you can't call yourself an Atlantan.
Okay.
From here, right?
Okay, is that true?
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't know.
Okay. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out how it works. So we've had one person on the podcast today, which is very proud to be native Atlantan, because there aren't many of us here.
No.
So that's very cool. So talk to me a little bit about the business and how you got into it.
Yeah, well, I always like to tell people I started the business out of spite. And so it was, I was hitting walls at the agency that I was at. I wanted to do things, the way that I believed that they could and should be done from a branding perspective. And that wasn't possible where I was at, and you hear no enough, you can either accept that or not. And I didn't. And so it was time to kind of go my own way. I wanted to really get into like the roots and creation of a brand all the way through the visual identity and the voice. And where I was previous to that was not a priority.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So they didn't put the brand first. It was other stuff.
Yeah, or even just like the creation or creativity and trusting your audience. I felt like there was a lot of lack of trust for like a discerning, audience of a brand. And I believe in people and their ability to understand a brand.
Yeah. So how do you do that? Because it's challenging, isn't it, to go and really understand how do you create a brand, even a brand which is like 20 years old, it's a legacy brand or a brand new brand. But what do you think in the process that you do that creates that real connection?
Yeah, I mean, like part of it is witchcraft.
Like, I like this.
Yeah, you have
to be going.
You have to be able to like see the future and envision it and have a path and a plan. You have to be able to read people's minds and then create something out of it, So like, one of our core values in the company is creative gods.
Right.
And like we believe that, like we create universes and we create them for these audiences. And so there's a lot of, trust and vision and belief that goes into that.
Gosh, I mean, that's just unique in itself. Like that whole, that's so interesting to me.
Yeah.
So what did you think is there a favorite brand that you have worked on in your career? Not even in the last 12 years, but maybe that you felt like you were able to do this creative brand goddess and come out with an output you were happy with?
Yeah, so you can't like pick one brand. It's like picking children.
Yeah.
But there is a really great branding story that means a lot to me, which is we did the branding for a restaurant here in Atlanta called Pancake Social.
Okay.
And so they believed in us. They believed in the brand and the work that we created. Everything was hand-drawn and beautiful.
Oh.
And so they wanted a floor designed. And so they asked us to make a tile for the brand. It tells the story. There's like pancakes and bacon. It's all in this very like ornate tile. And they were going to order these like 20 by 20 inch tiles for the floor. That became cost prohibitive. So the owners of the brand, what they did is they got a stencil made and they all hand stenciled and painted over like 200 tiles that are still on the floor today at Pancake Social. And I feel very confident saying that it is the most photographed floor in Atlanta.
Oh,
we get a lot of footy selfies on that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So they just wanted to bring the brand into floor space where people would see it.
They wanted to bring it into the interior design. And so they had this idea and we were able to execute on it. And they're beautiful and they're talked about. And it's something subtle. Like I love a surprise and delight, like when you don't realize it's there. Like when people discover the FedEx arrow, like the arrow in the logo.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of people have not even seen it before. But once you've seen it, you appreciate it.
I agree.
That's kind of what we wanted to have on this floor tile. If you're not paying attention, it just looks like a very pretty ornate floor.
Right.
But then there's also like blueberries on it and like a little cup of coffee. So, yeah.
Do you like pancakes?
They're fine.
Yeah. You're not a big lover of pancakes.
No, not really.
No, but you were still able to delight, surprise, and the brand.
Oh, yeah, it
lives
doesn't
on.
matter.
The illustration lives on. Yeah.
I mean, I never tell our clients this, but I guess the cat's out of the bag. I've probably branded over a dozen steakhouses, and I don't even. Yeah, so doesn't,
So restaurants, is that your area of focus?
It's one of them. I think we get a lot of notoriety for that, but I think a lot of people that, go to, like, we work with fantastic restaurateurs. Once they want to know who did that, we gotten to branch out into so many other types of businesses. So we do retail, we do multifamily, and then we end up doing a lot of B2B for any sort of business or industry that wants something outside of the box. They want something totally custom. They want it to have that emotional connection that builds that credibility and trust. And so, once they've experienced that at a Michelin star restaurant, well, they figure we can do that for their financial firm or something.
Yeah, that's fantastic to have that notoriety, as you say. That's really important. So what do you think drives you on? Where does this, it's, as I know, I can speak from the heart, marketing is challenging because it's constantly changing and evolving, and there's marketing technology and everything to do with it. But what do you think spurs you on to keep on growing the business and, and just constantly just doing great work?
Yeah. Well, I mean, first of all, I believe we're very good.
I think you are, but I love your website. That's
my
sign of you being very good. I've seen some of your work. It's very good.
But also, in order to use, so the way I see, AI and all of these, evolving tools is that they are tools to use. And we still need the tastemakers to show us how to use these tools. And so a lot of people can go in and get very messy utilizing AI. But also, if you're engaging in a very talented and very thoughtful creative agency, you have the package to then feed into your, whatever AI you're using and utilizing it as a filter to run your brand through. I believe in that.
Yeah.
And that, if you have your positioning and value proposition, you can plug that into chat, because I'm not going to be writing your emails on behalf of your brand. I don't want to. But what I do like is consistency. And so if I get to know that every single one of your team is, able to speak through your brand, that's a win.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. It's good to hear you using AI. I think anyone who's turning their back and nervous about it is not embracing it.
I mean, I'm still nervous. We have to
embrace it. Yeah. No, that's really important. Do you find yourself really talking to clients about AI? Is it part of a conversation you have?
I do. And I find that a lot of our clients are still kind of nervous about it, or they've played and they didn't have success. And so when I can explain to them how to utilize it, to have that consistency for their brand, they're excited and they're more open to using it.
Yeah, that's great. So where do you think you're you're taking your business? Is there, I know there's a lot going on, you're working on some really big projects, but if you look 12 months out or even 18 months out, where's your how is your business going to evolve, do you think?
Yeah, I find that we're getting bigger projects. We're getting almost more public-facing projects. We're getting the opportunity to work with people that really value human creation. We don't use AI when we're creating a brand. We don't use templates. We don't reuse concepts. And so we're finding that people that wouldn't necessarily value that in the first place are just going to do DIY themselves. And so I think that's going to take a lot of people out of the market. But because of how our track record of excellence in creating these brands is just attracting bigger opportunities for us. So that's been exciting.
That's exciting. Yeah. Bigger opportunities, hopefully more. Doesn't necessarily mean this, but it can be more creativity you can bring to those businesses as well. So
we like to get weird.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Would you say that's your uniqueness within the business when you compare yourself to other agencies? Is that you're prepared to get free, creatively free? And
I think that's a big part of it. But also, we're professionals, and I found out from a client that the reason they ended up moving to us as an agency from another competitor was because we get our work done on time.
Right.
And so not only do I feel like our uniqueness is our creation, and that we don't necessarily have an agency style.
Yeah.
Every single project is completely unique, but also we communicate well.
Yeah.
We do what we say we're going to do, and we do it on time.
Yeah. Which is
I didn't know that was a differentiator until not that long ago.
Yeah. It's and you can be as creative as you want to be, but if you're not going to deliver within the timeline, that's a problem.
Right. Then you're an artist.
Yes. That's
we're designers.
True.
Yeah.
There's a big difference. I like the fact that you showed that differentiation. That's really good. So if there was one memory you would like our listeners and our watchers to take away from this discussion today about you, what do you think that would be?
Oh gosh, a memory from this discussion.
Or just about who you are, like what you represent, what the business represents.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's so much negativity in the world. We try and provide a really positive experience and just to get the opportunity to love on and express these people's businesses is our favorite part of it.
Okay.
And so, yeah,
Love and express.
We're really positive. Yeah.
Okay. That's really good. That's a great takeaway from this conversation. So I appreciate you, Jaci, joining us today. It's been a really great, fascinating conversation. And I want you to enjoy EO Atlanta 30-year anniversary.
I will.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
You are welcome. Thank you.